In the previous tutorial we exported references from Eric into RefWorks, and this followed on what we did in the class. In this tutorial we're going to enter RefWorks from the library home page, take a look at those references that we took from Eric, and manipulate them in a few ways so you get a sense of a few of the things that are possible within RefWorks. So from www.lib.unb.ca there's a link to RefWorks down the left hand side here under Connect To. Here on the RefWorks page there's a bunch of information that is useful. What's most useful here for our purposes right now is the Login to RefWorks button. Before I hit that, I'm going to highlight a couple of other things. One is exporting and importing. From here there are instructions on how you export from a variety of platforms that UNB subscribes to, and this includes Quest and WorldCat, and how you take items from those places and put them into RefWorks. Each platform is going to have its own idiosyncrasies in how to do that. This is a valuable page to take a look at some point in the future if you're dealing with something other than an EBSCO product, which we covered in the Eric tutorial. The other one, which I'll also do a future tutorial on, is Write and Cite, and this is a piece of software that enables you through Microsoft Word to manipulate citations, place them in line in your text, and then subsequently generate bibliographies for a paper from whatever references you've placed in the paper. And I can also log into RefWorks right here, so I'll do so. It saved my login credentials from the last time. However, I could sign up for an individual account if I so chose. If I was, say, working on a new project with a number of team members, we could create an account here and share the login and password amongst us. Everything here can be individualized. It doesn't have to be synchronized with UNB information except for an email address. That has to be UNB specific to be recognized by RefWorks. So I'm going to log in. Initially what you'll see is a screen presenting all the references that have so far been imported into RefWorks from wherever they were natively found. What I want to do at the moment though is take a look at the last references that I imported, the ones from Eric, and how I do that is by going to View Folder, and Last Imported. This last imported folder is the folder in which all the references that you last imported to RefWorks will be contained. So the next time you import to RefWorks, if you've not placed the previous references in a particular folder, they'll be in a folder called Not in a Folder. Let's take a look at last imported. These are the three items that we imported into RefWorks from Eric. One thing that I might want to do from here is create a new folder or move them into an existing folder. Let's just say that we want to start by creating a new folder. Let's say it's the first time I've used RefWorks, and these are going to go into tutorial test. So I've created that folder now. What I'm going to do is choose all three of these references by clicking All in List, or I could select ones individually. If you're going to move references to different folders, let's say you have your research organized across a variety of topics and you want to organize the references topically, you can do that. But right now what we want to do is put it into that tutorial. Move to reference folders here. There we go. Tutorial test. I should mention right now that the interface for RefWorks changed a few days before we had our session together, so I'm actually flying by the seat of my pants. Everything looks a little bit different, but no problem. It's telling me down here in the corner that it's completed. 3 items have been moved to that folder. So I'm going to go to that folder now by I can either go to folders here, or I could go up to view and view that folder. Tutorial test, or I could go to folders here and choose tutorial test. Looks a lot like the last imported folder. Now, what could I do here? Well, one of the things that you might be interested in doing, let's say you want to share these references with colleagues for the purposes of collaborating in some manner. You can go to share here, and then I'll go down to my tutorial test and click on this icon. Am I sure? Darn tootin', I'm sure. So what it's done is it's provided me a durable URL or web address that I could then email to people, or I can just copy and paste it and use it in whatever way that we wanted to. I'm going to cancel that for now. I'm going to go to bibliography and create a bibliography. You have a choice of styles depending on the course that you're in. Of course, it's education, so chances are it's going to be APA. Then, what references am I going to include? Let's say I want to go back to tutorial test. And then create bibliography. I could either save the file, or it's going to open with Google Chrome in this case. I could choose one of my other browsers if I so chose. We'll just go with Google Chrome. And then from here I could copy what I have, open a Word document or whatever document, and paste it therein. One thing you're going to want to look out for here, however, is that the references are not always outputted in a clean manner, and that has to do with how they were organized in their native databases. So don't take RefWorks at face value. Make sure that you go over your work. And so that ends this tutorial, and then we'll move on to other things in the next one.